Hello YouTube, I've done a month-long poll/tournament ranking the most popular Zelda titles from, well, the least popular all the way to the most popular. Some of them might be obvious, but I did it anyway. After 830,000 votes, we have our ranking. So today, I'm gonna go over that ranking, so I'll do it from the beginning, how I did the whole tournament. I'll also read some of the comments about the opinions, and some of them are pretty funny. And feel free to let us know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments. Just know that YouTube will hold comments that are very bad, so be nice in the comments. So the first thing I did, just so you know, there are 20 total main Zelda titles. Of the 20, I need to make 5 polls of 4. Math. I also needed to figure out which titles to divide them up. I just based it on my own personal opinion of what I think will most likely be most popular, and I was basically right. And then there are things, actually, I think I need to address this now before some people say things. So I don't know if you can read this, but I want to explain real quick before we continue. I feel like the round 2 polls were decided with the winning 2 already assumed, which meant that each grouping had a designated loser, like A Link Between Worlds would have made it if we're against other 2 choices. But then they kind of put it, or am I just being salty because I'm a Link Between Worlds fan? This one, the next one, this Old Ben Kenobi, which understands, he says that's how tournaments work. And then the reply is, no, I'm saying that the brackets felt a little rigged. Old Ben Kenobi does explain it. So that's how tournaments work. You do get grouped and you get separated based on, again, at first it was my opinion, but I think it's pretty straightforward. And then the way I made the brackets, which will already show you which games are best, almost no matter how much I change the groupings. The point of, if you watched a game and you had the 2 best players go against each other in the beginning, that means the finals would not be the potential finals. So this is why the groupings were made the way that they were. And then this one, I'm not going to read it all, but it says that I should have done this poll after the hype of Tears of the Kingdom fade out. Just so you know, this was made in September of 2023. So that is still valid, but I think even though they would still be ranked the same way, and if anything, Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild might be ranked differently, but I think it wouldn't change that much. I don't care how many times you say this poll is biased, the old games aren't better, get over it. So again, I grouped them based on what I think were popular, and I separated similar games in the 5 groups. So for example, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, had their own groups. Oracle of Seasons and Ages, they were in their separate groups, and I tried to divide it as much as possible. And then within the 5 groups, I wanted to take the top 2 from each one. That way I got a total of 10. You got it? Math is hard. I lied. I didn't want top 10, I wanted top 12 because a multiple of 4 is better. So I was going to take 2 third places to move up to the next round. So we'll go through each round and we'll chat a little bit. So this first group, A Link to the Past, 4 Swords, Skyward Sword, Spirit Tracks. Naturally, Skyward Sword and Link to the Past move on to the next round. And I'll make a little note about Spirit Tracks, okay? The next round, Adventures of Link, Link's Awakening, Phantom Hourglass, and Twilight Princess. Again, the 2 are obvious that would move on. That would be A Link's Awakening and Twilight Princess. Phantom Hourglass is also 3rd place. 4 Swords Adventures, Ocarina of Time, Oracle of Seasons, and The Wind Waker. Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker move on to the next round. Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda, the first one, Majora's Mask, Triforce Heroes, Majora's Mask, and Breath of the Wild move up. Then we have A Link Between Worlds, Minish Cap, Oracle of Ages, and Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom and A Link Between Worlds move up because they both got 2nd place. And then also make a note of Minish Cap here. So I made another poll, actually, Minish Cap, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks. Before I made this poll, I wanted to take 2 up to the next round, but I couldn't choose between the 3 because it wasn't fair to just choose whatever. I needed to choose 2 of these 3. So I made a poll and I said, which one is the worst one that should be eliminated? And that was a bad idea because Minish Cap won that poll. Now we've learned, don't make polls saying choose the worst because people don't read when voting on polls and they choose their favorite anyway. And the next one, what's the lesson we learned today? People literally don't read anything. So the way I did it this time was I just put all 3 and I just took the top 2, that being Minish Cap and Phantom Hourglass, and moved them to the next round. Okay, so now I have my top 12 and then I have my bottom 8. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make this top 12 into a top 8. Then I ranked the top 8 to get the most popular. And then I later ranked the bottom 12 to get the least popular. But what I'm going to do in the video, once I get to the whole tournament stuff, I'll start from the beginning from the least popular ones going up to the most popular. Now, if you don't know how seeding brackets work, I used the amount of votes percentage to seed the titles. Again, it's not a perfect way to do it, but because I used an elimination bracket, it would still work out. Again, if you don't know how tournaments work, I'm doing it the proper way. Just trust me, I don't know what to tell you. So now we have A Link to the Past versus Breath of the Wild versus Minish Cap. I'm going to take the top two and drop the third. It's kind of obvious, but I did it anyway. Actually, I'm going to pick here. I don't know, I just like to see polls. The reason I put this is because there are people who want to see polls, and I do this in other community tab posts. I want to see the result. I don't want to change the result. So I left this here for people who want to look at it, but not change the result. So I'm going to click this one. Breath of the Wild, A Link to the Past, move up, obviously. And then I also kept the percentage to help me seed them when I do the bracket. Then we have A Link Between Worlds, Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker. Twilight Princess, Wind Waker move up. Now we have Link's Awakening, Majora's Mask, and Tears of the Kingdom. Majora's Mask, Tears of the Kingdom move up. Ocarina of Time, Phantom Hourglass, and Skyward Sword. Ocarina of Time and Skyward Sword, that moves up. Now I have my top 8. And what I did with my top 8, I put them in a bracket. And again, these are ranked currently based on the total percentages of their votes. And this shows you how the groupings were basically correct from my opinion of grouping them properly. So Tears of the Kingdom is number 1, Majora's Mask is number 8. Then you have Skyward Sword, which is number 5, Twilight Princess is number 4, Ocarina of Time is number 3, A Link to the Past number 6, Wind Waker, which is 7th, and then Breath of the Wild, which is 2nd. Again, this allows for the best result for a tournament bracket. Now, not only did I put a regular bracket here, I also put an elimination bracket. So what this does, if somebody goes against somebody and let's say they get out too early when they shouldn't have, which you'll see some results do affect this allows them to properly get placed moving forward and a chance for them to re-win if it would so happen. And for example, I want you to pay attention to Majora's Mask, which again currently is in 8th place by ranking. So the elimination bracket allows the proper, most accurate ranking for the titles. Now, I don't know if you want to listen to this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to go over some of the comments, like this one. Comments prove that people don't understand opinions as per usual. The reason why I bring this up is that this is based on popularity and or favoritism and opinion. So you're gonna see some comments where people are saying people are wrong. Again, that's opinion, that's up to you. You can choose what you like. And of course, not everyone has played every single game. And so again, this bracket's based on popularity. Actually, for example, the recency bias, along with the amount of Zelda players who never played anything other than the new Zelda, is full on display. So there's a whole discussion of recency bias versus nostalgia. Hot take, just because an older game doesn't win, doesn't mean the voters haven't played it. Again, popularity, meaning whatever the reason being, that's what they're popular because most people like them or prefer them. Old Ben Kenobi. Apparently he's a smart man. It quite literally does, meaning it means that this is a popularity tournament. Can people take their nostalgia glasses off for once in their life? So this one, pointless poll, just don't add Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild in polls. I'll explain why that won't work. We gotta do the, oh well, it would work, but I'll explain why it doesn't matter. We gotta do this poll again without Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I knew from the start they were gonna win. Giggles at polls, I just like this comment. You all know that this is going to come down to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. You should have had them in the same tier because a lot of newer player fans are going to vote for the two because they're only ones they've played. As you said, it's a popularity contest, so it's understandable that Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are winning. So I hope everyone's not salty for this. People are. This honestly is not a good way of doing it. Of course, Tears of the Kingdom will win, so just put it as the final contender so the other games will be ranked under each other. So first, just to explain how this bracket helps get the proper ranking. If I put Tears of the Kingdom against Breath of the Wild in the first round, Breath of the Wild would be in the one of them will be in the elimination bracket, and then it would make their way back to the finals. So either way, it almost doesn't matter the order of this. It does a little bit, but not so much. And again, for those who understand brackets, I did also add this mini bracket in the middle to figure out the 5th place. And even when I figured out the 5th place, I wind up putting the 5th place against the 4th place. That normally doesn't happen in brackets, but I did it anyway because I want to get the most accurate bracket possible ranking. Now that I have my top 8, I'm actually going to talk about the bottom 12 because like I said, I want to start from the least popular to the most. So with the 12, I made 4 polls of 3. 1, 2, 3, 12. Yeah, 4 polls of 3. Whatever. I made 4 polls of 3 and I separated them properly, okay? Just trust me. We have A Link Between Worlds, Four Swords Adventures, Triforce Heroes. Naturally, A Link Between Worlds was number 1. And my goal was to shuffle them again. Then we have Adventure of Link, A Link's Awakening, Oracle of Ages, Link's Awakening, Four Swords, Minish Cap, Oracle of Seasons. Minish Cap wins. Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks. Legend of Zelda. This Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks kind of made me second guess. So what I did was I shuffled them again. So it's the same 12, and I want to make sure I got the best ranking possible. With these polls of the bottom 12, it became very obvious which were the top 4 of the 12. So instead of ranking all 12, I just took the top 4 of the 12, that being Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Minish Cap, and A Link Between Worlds. I didn't do a bracket, I did a round robin. What round robin means is that each one will go against each other. So Legend of Zelda versus A Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda versus Minish Cap, Legend of Zelda versus A Link to the Past, and then so on and so forth. By the way, and naturally, the top 8 and the bottom 12 get divided between the 3D games and the 2D games. However, I do want to make one point. A Link to the Past did make the top 8, and there are only 7 3D games. So A Link to the Past made the top 8. The bottom 12 is the bottom 12 without A Link to the Past. So it's basically a 2D Zelda game ranking. So we have Link's Awakening versus Minish Cap. And Link's Awakening is the game that wins this one. It's a decently close poll. Then we have A Link Between Worlds and Minish Cap. Of course, A Link Between Worlds wins over Minish Cap. Next, we have Legend of Zelda versus Link's Awakening. And Link's Awakening did win. We have Legend of Zelda versus Link Between Worlds. And this was the first round. These were the percentages. If you're curious, I'm not going to stop to talk about it. That's where they were. So currently, Link's Awakening has 2 wins. A Link Between Worlds has 1 win. Then we have A Link Between Worlds versus Minish Cap, A Link Between Worlds. Legend of Zelda versus Minish Cap, Minish Cap. A Link Between Worlds versus Link's Awakening. This is actually the tiebreaker. That's why I put this last, because they both have 2 wins right now. And with a decent fight, we have A Link Between Worlds versus Link's Awakening. So, and these would be the rankings. So this is of the bottom 12. We have A Link Between Worlds in 9th place, A Link's Awakening in 10th, Minish Cap in 11th, and then Legend of Zelda in 12th. So now we have our mid. These are our mid 4 games. We have later to talk about our top 8, and now we will talk about our bottom 8. Now this is our bracket for our bottom 8. I did seed them, rank them to go against the proper whatever. I did this a little different. I was excited to see what the least popular game was. So the bracket will look different than it's supposed to be. I had the games go against each other based on votes, and I took the loser and then I moved it forward. This allowed me to find out at the end which is the least popular game. First, we have this is the first seed versus the 8th. We have Oracle of Seasons versus Triforce Heroes. Oracle of Season wins. Everyone that didn't pick Triforce Heroes just didn't have enough friends to play with. If I had friends, maybe I could try it. Then we have Four Swords versus Oracle of Ages. This is, I think, seed number 5 and seed number 4. And the winner is Oracle of Ages. Okay, now we have Four Swords Adventures and Spirit Tracks. This is seed number 6 and seed number 5. And the winner is Spirit Tracks. All right, then we have Adventure of Link and Phantom Hourglass. The winner is Phantom Hourglass. So now we have our losers. Again, the losers moved up. Triforce Heroes moved up. Four Swords moved up. Four Swords Adventure moved up. Adventure of Link moved up. So these are potentially the bottom 4. And if I go to the elimination bracket, this happens. So Seasons will go against Ages. Spirit Tracks will go against Phantom Hourglass, which is kind of a cool matchup. But now let's zoom through these results. Triforce Heroes, Four Swords. The worst game is Triforce Heroes. Adventure of Link versus Four Swords Adventures. We have Four Swords Adventures wins. Adventure of Link goes to the finals. These are technically better games than the previous 4. So I have Seasons versus Ages. I kind of already said it earlier. Seasons wins. Then we have Spirit Tracks versus Phantom Hourglass. Spirit Track wins. Now we have our current bottom 2, which is Triforce Heroes and Adventure of Link. And now we have Seasons versus Spirit Tracks. Because Four Swords Adventures lost, or won, technically, they go against Ages. And then Four Swords will go against Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass versus Four Swords. Phantom Hourglass wins. Four Swords Adventures versus Oracle of Ages. Oracle of Ages wins. Four Swords Adventures versus Four Swords. People don't have friends, so Four Swords Adventures win. Again, we're kind of going backwards. So I have Seasons and Spirit Tracks at the top of the bottom 8. And then I have Four Swords Adventures and Four Swords are going against each other to decide which one belongs in the bottom 3. And you can see here Ages and Phantom Hourglass, because they never went against each other, The winner of this one will move on to the top 3 of the bottom 8. Man, I hope some of you understand this because this is a lot. Ages versus Phantom Hourglass. We have Phantom Hourglass is the winner. So now we know that Four Swords is in the bottom 3 along with Triforce Heroes and Adventures of Link. And now we have Phantom Hourglass will move up to be in the top 3 of Seasons, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks. And then Ages becomes 4th place, and then Adventures of Link becomes 5th place. So now let's figure this out. Because Phantom Hourglass already went against Spirit Tracks, I left that the way it is. I wanted the top 3 to have a round robin. So let me explain. Seasons will go against Phantom Hourglass and to go against Spirit Tracks, and then Phantom Hourglass will go against both. And the same thing with the top 3. The 3 of them will go against each other, one on one. Triforce Heroes already went against Four Swords, so I already put the result there. So now I'm going to check Adventure of Link versus the 2 of them. Spirit Tracks versus Oracle of Seasons. Spirit Tracks wins. Seasons versus Phantom Hourglass. Seasons wins. Triforce Heroes versus Adventure of Link. Triforce Heroes wins is better. Adventure of Link versus Four Swords. Four Swords is better. Now, some of you might think, what happened if there's a 3-way tie? I have no idea. I was like, if it happens, I'll figure something out. Good thing it didn't happen. So now we have in last place, 20th place goes to Adventure of Link. 19th place, we have Triforce Heroes. 18th place goes to Four Swords. And moving on to our elimination bracket, 20, 19, 18. 17th place is Four Swords Adventure. 16th place is Oracle of Ages. 15th place is Phantom Hourglass. 14th place, Oracle of Seasons, and 13th place goes to Spirit Tracks. Going back to our mid-12 as a reminder, we have Legend of Zelda is 12, Minish Cap is 11, Link's Awakening is 10th, and Link Between Worlds is 9th. It's hard to go backwards. Now, let's talk about our top 8 Zelda games. Seed number 1 versus seed number 8. Tears of the Kingdom versus Majora's Mask. This person says, these 2 games are my number 1 and number 2. It's picking between my children. I obviously have a favorite, but I can't tell them. And the winner for this one is, of course, Tears of the Kingdom. Then we have Twilight Princess versus Skyward Sword. Anyway, the winner for this, Twilight Princess. Ocarina of Time and A Link to the Past. This person said, how dare you? This person says, I don't want A Link to the Past to win. I just want Ocarina of Time to lose. This was me. It was hard to put this together, match them up, but I had to. It was only fair. It was the right way to do it. And I mean, the winner is kind of obvious, but Ocarina of Time. Breath of the Wild and Wind Waker. How is Breath of the Wild winning? Because it's a better game. Wind Waker is easily the worst 3D game thanks to its empty and repetitive world that you can traverse on a slow boat. Even the dungeons suck. If Ocarina of Time doesn't win, something is wrong in this world. Something is right because Ocarina of Time may have an unparalleled back in the 90s. Nowadays, it's the Zelda equivalent to white bread. It's the most basic Zelda. It doesn't mean it's bad. And then this one person, I'm not going to read it all, but let's just say he had a lot to say. We're moving on. Somebody just wanted to say that Spirit Tracks not making it through makes me sad. But somebody replied, who even cares for that game? It's like 2 people actually who played it. But the person replies with, I like it because it has trains. And I love trains. This one I find a little interesting. I think everyone's favorite is their first. I have a tremendous respect for Breath of the Wild, the same way I respect A Link to the Past. But Ocarina of Time will always be my favorite. The reply to this was, I don't know, my first was Zelda 2, and Breath of the Wild is my favorite. First of all, it's Zelda 2. But I will say this is somewhat valid, because the game that you play for the first time, you get this discovery, this feeling of like how great whatever the game was. Because I played Breath of the Wild, I did change my view for Tears of the Kingdom because I already kind of knew how to play that. I could kind of say that Tears of the Kingdom could be a better game than Breath of the Wild, but again, I enjoyed Breath of the Wild more. I would have put Ocarina of Time against Twilight Princess in the semis, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because the polls ain't fair to Twilight Princess. It will be fair, I promise. Like I said, it'll make up because of the elimination bracket. Most of y'all weren't even alive for A Link to the Past. It pretty much is the greatest Zelda game of all time. That's an opinion. I don't care if people don't vote for it. Phantom Hourglass is my favorite, and I'm dying on this hill. Congrats to the 5 people who voted for Four Swords. Aww. Okay, so here we are. We have our top 4. Again, the bottom 4 can still make it to the finals if necessary. Okay, so we have Tears of the Kingdom versus Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time versus Breath of the Wild. The bottom 4, Majora's Mask versus Skyward Sword, A Link to the Past versus Wind Waker. I'll give you A Link to the Past, for example. If it wins, it can still make it to the finals. That's what I'm saying, that it allows the result to be as accurate as possible. Tears of the Kingdom versus Twilight Princess. The winner is Tears of the Kingdom. Ocarina of Time versus Breath of the Wild. The answer is Breath of the Wild. I do wonder if people just put Ocarina of Time for nostalgia. I have played all Zelda games, and honestly, I did not enjoy that one as much as the other 3D titles. To be honest, Ocarina of Time is overrated. Ocarina of Time is severely overrated. Wow, nostalgia bias is heavy on this one. I'm gonna be real, and no hate to all of you who agree, but I've been playing Ocarina of Time for the first time and experience has been kind of average, and it's good, but I don't get why it heralds as the perfect game. Ocarina of Time only gets votes because childhood nostalgia. Really unpopular opinion, but Ocarina of Time is probably the most overrated game in the series. Good God, why is Ocarina of Time overrated? It's literally impossible to play without a walkthrough guide. This one, I don't know. I did. You can do it. You don't need a guide for it. Hot take, Ocarina of Time is overrated. Anyway, people can say what they say. The point of this is to have opinions. You're allowed your opinion. People like what they like. And I personally don't know why it would hurt you if somebody likes something else that you don't like. But that's just me. A Link to the Past versus Wind Waker. We have Wind Waker moving up. Majora's Mask versus Skyward Sword. Majora's Mask. All right, now that we have our currently in the finals is Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. And then I need to finish up my elimination bracket. So because Ocarina of Time lost, it goes against Majora's Mask, which won in the elimination bracket. And the same thing goes for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. And then the two losing titles, that being Skyward Sword and A Link to the Past, they will now go against each other to decide which one is in 8th place, which one goes to 7th place. Starting with Ocarina of Time versus Majora's Mask. Wind Waker versus Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess. This finalizes the placement for 7th and 8th place, but there's a little but here. I'll explain in a second. The winner is Skyward Sword over A Link to the Past. This puts A Link to the Past in 8th place and Skyward Sword in 7th. Now, remember I still have my little but. We have Ocarina of Time moving up, Twilight Princess moving up. So this is the final of the elimination bracket. Majora's Mask and Wind Waker lost. So they are fighting for 5th place. Let's do this. I still have my little butt. Don't forget about my little butt. Okay. Majora's Mask versus Wind Waker. The winner is Majora's Mask. And then Ocarina of Time versus Twilight Princess. The winner is Ocarina of Time. So now we have our finals bracket. So the three are going to go against each other in a round robin. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Ocarina of Time. And then Majora's Mask takes 5th place and Wind Waker takes 6th. Now, going back to my little butt, Wind Waker never went against Skyward Sword. So what I wanted to do was I put a poll to see which the placement would be. And then Majora's Mask, someone commented, Majora's Mask never went against Twilight Princess. So we should decide those 4 placements. So from 4th to 7th place. So for Skyward Sword and Wind Waker, no changes. We have Skyward Sword loses to Wind Waker. 8th, 7th, and 6th are correct. Now we have Majora's Mask versus Twilight Princess. Technically in the tournament, it wouldn't matter, but I wanted to get the most accurate result. So this is where it gets interesting. When I put this poll, Majora's Mask versus Twilight Princess, after 4.7 thousand votes, it's 50-50. I think this was the first day. No, not the next day. A little later. 5,300 votes, 50-50. Almost 8,000 votes, it's still 50-50. 10,000 votes, 50-50 between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess. We finally get 12,000, and Twilight Princess gets 1% over Majora's Mask. Now, because I couldn't wait, I kind of put this as the result. So Twilight Princess wins 4th place over Majora's Mask. However, 18,000 votes later, it's still 50-50 because I wanted to check. Now, the poll is done. You can't go back anymore. As of today, I checked it and I fixed the bracket because Majora's Mask is now winning. So I'm leaving it at that. Majora's Mask is 4th place. Twilight Princess is 5th. I'm not changing it. That looks pretty accurate. It's been like that for a while. This is 24,000 votes. And I don't think none of you go back and change it. That's cheating. So now let's look for our top 3. Not much here, but let's do it. Tears of the Kingdom versus Breath of the Wild. The winner is Tears of the Kingdom. Ocarina of Time versus Tears of the Kingdom. The winner is Tears of the Kingdom. And Breath of the Wild versus Ocarina of Time. I didn't realize I had already done this, but I did it again anyway. Breath of the Wild. We have our top everything. So if you want to look at these brackets, I'll leave a link in the description for the post for all 5 brackets. It also shows the result of the percentage one versus one another. For example, like Majora's Mask being 51% over Twilight Princess, and all of that against one another. But you can check the link in the description. Now, starting from number 20, here's our list of our least popular Zelda all the way to the most popular. Number 20, Zelda 2, Adventure of Link. Number 19, Triforce Heroes. Number 18, Four Swords. Number 17, Four Swords Adventures. Number 16, Oracle of Ages. Number 15, Phantom Hourglass. Number 14, Oracle of Seasons. Number 13, Spirit Tracks. Number 12, The Legend of Zelda. Number 11, The Minish Cap. Number 10, Link's Awakening. Number 9, A Link Between Worlds. Number 8, A Link to the Past. Number 7, Skyward Sword. Number 6, The Wind Waker. Number 5, Twilight Princess. Number 4, Majora's Mask. Number 3, Ocarina of Time. Number 2, Breath of the Wild. And number 1, Tears of the Kingdom. To me personally, I think this list is fairly accurate. Again, these are votes based on, not everybody is subscribed to my channel that can see the poll. Other people can see the poll. But because the numbers are so big, I think it's still accurate based on the results and the percentages. If you think anyone's wrong, feel free to leave them in the comments, because I'm sure some of you do. I did what I could. Again, this is the best way to get the most accurate result. Let us know what you think. Again, everyone's allowed to their opinion. Be nice in the comments, because YouTube will hold your comment if you're too mean. This was a lot. I had fun. It was a month of making pictures, counting your votes, doing math. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for participating. Sorry for putting so many comments and posts and polls in your subscription feed or whatever it may be. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.